Are we ready? I know I am. So, whether or not you are, it's time for another episode of the Indie Tales Game Dev live stream. Hey, my name is Adam. You are the Pixel Pals. I've already said the name of the show, so without further ado, it's time to go. Welcome everyone to the Tuesday edition of the stream. Today we're working on Insignia Chapter 2, as well as maybe doing some key art a little bit later in the day. I have a short stream today for you, only up to 3 hours, mostly because I'm heading out to an event later tonight. The game dev the October is a very, very busy week for game dev in Australia. And this marks the start of South by Southwest Sydney, which I'm not really going to. It's funny that like Melbourne is where I go, even though I live in Sydney. But nonetheless, there are some events that I enjoy going to that are based here in Sydney during Sydney South by Southwest. So I will be attending some of those throughout the week, maybe like a lunch here and there. And yeah, I think it's something that I'm excited to do. I don't know why this is doing this. I've been existing. Nope. How did the LEDs change just now? Interesting. Well, that'll have to do. Yeah, I'm save that. Yes. Okay. So yeah, things are going to be a little bit shorter today, but that's okay. I'm feeling pretty good. I had a big meeting today with another publishing opportunity, which I'm not really going to talk too much about. We're just going to jump straight into it. There are some things that I kind of want to put some energy into this week, especially today not being a huge stream. Maybe some key art related stuff. Mostly thinking about kind of how to get closer to building up like a portfolio of artworks that represent, I guess, the game and could be used as merch. That's something it's just front of mind at the moment. Before we get into that, I want to say a big welcome to everybody who's here in chat on both YouTube and on Twitch. Welcome. Big thanks to most recent follower Blues QDN leader. Welcome. And Void Plane Games, thank you so much for the most recent sub. Hey Ed Conky, how's it going? So yeah, we were yesterday just working on some cool designs for a ship. And I guess like a big part of this current kind of push, what I should be doing, there's kind of two opportunities here. One is like the merch side and getting you guys invested into chapter 2 and what we're doing there. And the other is for the team, getting them across kind of what the character interactions are and how they relate to each other, that kind of thing. I think it was a fun little day yesterday working on this ship. I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's a very cool design where we ended up. We'll keep refining that as we go, but it was a really strong start, I think. Okay, so let's have a think. Chapter 2, it's a big chapter. We were doing some stuff with like with the ship as a level. That's where we were. So we were talking about specifically giving Morgan, our composer, a little bit more context. What's a good percentage share for a publisher? Is that something you can talk about? I'm getting different conversations, like I'm having different conversations with different publishers. And so like a very common relationship, depending on how much it's really about how much you can negotiate based on how much work you've already done, how much of the risk has been mitigated, what your previous successes have been, things like that. So like a stock standard split will be something like publisher recoups all of their investment and then takes 70%. That's pretty common. It's not something that I think is very fair. But I haven't seen, depending on the game, like if it's a really, I think it's rare for the publisher to take less. Yeah, I think it's very rare for the publisher to take less than 50%. It is insane, especially when you consider the fact that Steam or the platform holders will take 30 off the top. So what you're really looking at when you go in with a publisher, pardon me, is something like this. This is how much money your game makes. This is how much you were given to make the game. First of all, 30% straight off the top, you don't get that. That's just gone. Thank you, Steam. Gone. Second of all, you need to recoup that. So now cut this off. That's not yours anymore. That's the publisher's. This is Steam. And then what's left, the publisher's going to take 70% of that. So what you get is this, which ends up being like 10 to 15% of total sales. It is absurd, isn't it? Hey, going to the Inkwell, welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. The thing is, if this number is something like, this is the rationale. If this number is something like 10 million USD, hypothetically, let's just throw a big number into the mix. If this is 10 million and you get 1.5, you know, would you have even made 1.5 before, like without any of this happening? If you were going to do it on your own and you were going to make 2 million, let's say you were just going to make $2 million. Steam still takes 30%. What's left is 1.4 for you. So in this case, you actually make less. If you keep everything and all you make is 2 million. Assuming a publisher is going to do this for you. That's right. So 7x. Yeah. Yeah, 5x to 7x. You need to be crossing that threshold with the publisher's investment in order for that to be worth it for you in the long run. Now, the thing about this is though, if you can increase this by any amount, then it swings back in your favor. It just depends on how much you think you're actually going to get out of this arrangement. Hey, Maddie man. Oh, dude, I've been jet setting all over the world the last 3 weeks, but we're back on chapter 2 for Insignia right now, so that's feeling pretty good. I'm going to leave this here for a bit, but I'll delete it eventually. At the moment, we are sitting on, it's Tuesday. We've got some Insignia chapter 2 work to be doing. It's 1:22. So I want to be doing a little bit of thinking about, Melbourne Games Week was awesome. I had a good time. Felt very, very welcomed. Dude, the first time I went to Melbourne Games Week in 2017, I was literally nobody and nobody wanted to talk to me. 2025, different story. Much more welcoming. The Melbourneians have become so warm. Melbourneians? No, I just, being me now, has a little bit of privilege. So, is it Slashed? Is that how I pronounce your name? For someone with a good viewership like you, it must make the decision hard. Dude, I spend like 2 hours a day, every day, either talking to people about this problem or thinking about this problem. Like, what do I do? Will I make, like, the numbers I just threw at you? Those are my numbers. Those are the things that I have to think about. Especially when you take into consideration the comparative, like the market comparisons that I'm kind of working with, right? How many of these are big games in this space? How many of these made 10 million USD? Now, Owlboy probably did if you account for Nintendo sales and other platform, other things. Take into account like merch and soundtracks and all of that. Owlboy probably did make 10 million. Iconoclasts probably didn't. It might have made 5 total. If these are the closest 2 games to Insignia, am I going to exceed both of these games with a publisher? I don't know. They both, I think Owlboy might have been self-published. I'm not sure. Oh no, it had publishing partners for distribution. Not sure. Certainly, you know, if how would you rate Mordoria out of 10? I haven't played the release version of Mordoria, so I would rate it 10 out of 10. Don't you have more leverage from your viewership? Leverage is the thing that I think is what leverage is in this context is an argument, a hypothetical argument of what this number represents. What does this number, let's call this viewership or clout or whatever. What does this translate to? That's the first question. Is it this much? Is it this much? Is it this much? Is it this much? That's a big question mark. And this, yes, you guys are you're already getting to the important part here. The only way to materially evaluate this is through wish lists. That's how you know what this is worth. For me, I have like criminally under converted on wish lists because we didn't have a Steam page until like 6 months ago. So I don't know what it's worth. A publisher doesn't know what it's worth. And to me, what I'm learning, I think, is that publishers don't really have... Publishers are very risk averse. And so what the Indie Tales... oh yeah, you could definitely wish this right now. Go ahead and do that. 7,000? I don't think so. I think it'd be more than that. We're already past 7. We won't reach the top of the Steam page on its own. Publishers are risk averse. They don't know what my audience means. They don't know that. The only way that anybody can know that is with the wishlist count. So for me, it's like, how can I convert the YouTube subscriber count into wish lists? That's a very, it's a very raw way of thinking about it and probably not very kind. But in reality, from a business perspective, that's what the question is. And that's why I think like shifting my content towards talking more about Insignia, getting like raising people's attention towards it, just making it a bigger part of what I do is the only way I'm really going to know what this was worth. So I think there are also layers to this too. When you make this number more, when you convert this into this, what happens is it becomes more concrete. Your potential is less guesswork and more measurable. When you do that, in order to do that, you have to make committal decisions. For me, for example, launching a demo would be a really good way to raise wish lists. Just having a demo where people can organically play, like find the game on Steam, play the game on Steam, having like some kind of relationship with an audience of players is the optimal way of doing that. I mean, why would anybody hang around on my Steam page if there's no demo? You know what I mean? That's the first thing. So, demo, trailer, all that stuff. I'm okay with there being a demo earlier. What's the downside? Well, the downside is that if you don't generate the interest from players, you don't convert as much as you would have liked to, then now you've played your hand and you don't really get another chance to do that again. In terms of like making a first impression for the sake of getting publishers interested, you want to be able to report good things that are happening with the project. You don't want to have to report, we launched a demo, it didn't do so well, you know? Or, yeah, we launched a demo, people still aren't really wishlisting it. So it's like Schrodinger's profit, you know? It's like you can do a whole bunch of things that are speculative, but once you check, that's when you know. Hey, Sophomire, thank you so much for the sub. Welcome, welcome. Do you think you'd want to showcase the conventions again closer to launch? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think for us, like for me, what's really important is generating interest, not just cashing in on interest that's there already. So like, my mindset right now should not be, hey, I have a thing and I want to make that thing puff up as big as it can be to make it look like a bigger thing. That's not my goal. My goal is not, hey, I have 280,000 YouTube subscribers. How do I make as many of those people as possible wish list? The real thing I should be doing is saying, how do I take zero interest at all? How do I pretend that my game just started? I just started working on it. How do I make that zero organically grow? And then we can take this number and think about how that slots back into this. But I'm not trying to just convert on a fixed number, right? It's not how do I make this number, some division on this as close to, 280, as close to 1x as possible. It's growth I should be thinking about. And that growth is going to come from online media, streaming, videos, TikToks, whatever. That's what I do. And so then the question is, how should the media that I'm putting out on the internet change in order to grow the audience to organically want a wishlist? Not go from video to YouTube subscriber to wishlist. That's a bit weird. That's too many steps to purchase. You want as few steps as possible because you lose every conversion. So really it's more like somebody watches something on their phone, wishlist is at least what the best we can do now. I mean, if you wanted early access, you could make this even shorter, straight to purchase. But I don't think I want to do that. Not yet. I think this is more like EA or Kickstarter. That's how you convert directly. It's just, those are very big commitments and we're probably not there just yet. Okay, comment from YouTube. Mojo Jojo says, hey Adam, personal question. I'm struggling with game dev school. My teachers don't really teach us about read code to us. Most of my classmates have coding experience. I remember watching one of your videos in design school. Did you learn? Oh, you mentioned you were in design school. Did you learn or go to programming school to be able to start your game? I did take a couple of units in programming while I was at university. It wasn't a computer science degree, but I did do like at least 3 programming units. So like, you know, a couple hours a week for like 18 months worth of time, I was being taught how to code. Like 120 hours of education, I would say, just to get started. And I wasn't a good programmer after that. It's just, you know, at least I knew what I was doing. Yeah. So for me, I think there's like another layer to this. Hey, is there a place we can see your old VODs of live streams? Yeah, on the YouTube channel. Actually, Indie Tales Live, which I'm streaming to right now, has older VODs. So does the Indie Tales channel. So if you go to YouTube, that channel has about 6 months of it. And then the last 2 or 3 months are all on Indie Tales Live. You can check that. So, just finishing off this little conversation, I think a lot of what makes Insignia special, or should make Insignia special, is the stuff that I'm working on now. It's content, it's characters, it's environments and the world. And so reaching my audience by producing those is my goal right now. Is how do I make working on the game something that creates interest? Not working on the game converts to marketing, converts to interest. It's like, how does the game development market itself? And I think when we make cool stuff on the stream, that helps. I think this is marketing for the game, you know? So, more questions. Do you have any advice for someone like me? What code language to learn? I think you should pick an engine, and I think you should chase that. C# is a really straightforward language to learn because you can use it in both Godot and Unity, and there's a lot of material on it. So you probably aren't going to make any mistakes learning C# as a starter language. Okay. So I think maybe today we just focus on artwork. The oldest photo on the YouTube channel is a year ago. Is that correct? The older VODs aren't there. The VODs from like 8 years ago, they don't exist. I have them on like hard drives at my house here, but I don't have them uploaded anywhere. There are like terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of content. You can imagine. I've been streaming 5 hours a day for 8 years. You're not going to be able to even catch up to me if you start watching now. The game will release and you'll be on year 3. Okay, so I think I need to get into a groove here. Oh, thank you so much, Mojo. I'm not in a groove. I'm sort of stuck at the moment. What's a task that I can commit my mind to that's not going to be easy to get distracted by? I'm gonna get a drink. I'll be back in a sec. Just a sec. How much time is the current chapter of gameplay worth? Chapter 1 is worth like 2.5 hours. Chapter 2 might be a little bit less. Maybe even a little bit more. The first 2 chapters will be about 5 hours of gameplay. All right. What does PMF mean? For my own reference. 5 chapters of planned content. Oh, hey, random question. Product market fit. Oh, okay. So things that you do to determine whether or not the game is marketable, that kind of thing. Would you guys buy like an A4 sheet with a bunch of stickers on it of the game? Is that interesting to you? Like a few sheets of these. You can stick them on your laptop and stuff. Sweet. We should do like a poll or something. Yeah. You'd want to be able to assemble them on the background. And you could do different scenes. Yeah. Oh, a desk mat. That would be sick. That would be... I would want one of those. I would buy a desk mat. A desk mat with the key art would be awesome. A desk mat with this on it? Oh, baby. I'd get that. Like that. Yeah, we're just thinking about stuff. Hey, Robin. What's up? What color? Always bet on yellow. Always yellow. Always yellow. All right. It's green. Let's just jump into some chapter 2 work directly. I'm a bit out of practice on content creation for it, so I might just jump in and just do some useful stuff. No more planning. You ready? Boom. Start of chapter 2. Okay. So you can obviously tell, very barren. Let's think about a few things that we want to do in this chapter from like a gameplay perspective. So, oh, I don't remember this. What is this? Visual inspiration. This is sick. I love these. These are these are not really for Insignia, although this totally is. I love this. This was in a painting at a hotel that I went to. Like, it's an actual photo that I took of this painting. I just really liked how it created space. Anyway, looking back on chapter 1, we have these like environmental puzzle pieces, like the pulley system. We need something like that in chapter 2. And interactable level elements, that's what we're talking about. So right now, let's just review this little document I created. Oh yeah, all Commonwealth spelling in the game. So abilities that move player in a direction. Very closed, specific, easy to develop, simple to explain. And then open. More possibilities require affordances to explain, could be ambiguous. This is abilities that have conceptual definitions. Stop time, reverse, freeze, burn. Things in the world that have states in order to respond to anything is enemies. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. So what this is trying to do is help me grapple with the fact that the game right now, like the abilities in the game that we've created, they're very there's a few of them, and they are how you can use them is different depending on which one it is. So in each elemental color, there are different abilities. One of them should be used anywhere and everywhere as just like a general, like in the case of green, the green ensigns, one is just a double jump. Double jump, very easy to explain, but you can only do one thing with it. Another one scales walls. So it's like, well, it's like a backflip. If you aren't standing at a wall, it goes up a wall. If you are at a wall, that's pretty useful, but only in conjunction with another level environmental thing. I don't yet have a third one, but in this context, we're looking at abilities as things that the player can do with the world. If you want to be able to do a bunch of different things, the things in the world have to be either encoded to respond to the thing, or that's it. That's what you would need to do. But then there is kind of more systemic things, like being able to set things on fire, right? If you can set things on fire, then you can think about what happens when this thing is set on fire. Like, okay, maybe this ability sets everything on fire. This barrel can be set on fire. Barrel explodes when it's set on fire. Explosions do damage. That also sets things on fire. Okay, you put 4 barrels in front of each other. All of the barrels explode each other. That's more like emergent system-driven design. Insignia isn't... I haven't really got a vision for whether or not the game should be one or the other. And I don't know if there is actually an answer to that. I think it's kind of like you just have to freestyle and mix and match both. And what's left is the game that you made. I think like doing cool things and just making the game full of cool things you can do is kind of just the name of it. Like if you try to get too poetic and make it so that everything only does one thing, it gets really boring and you have to teach the player a lot, but the things that they learn don't go very far. And if you make it too systemic, then you can't design things that are specific, that have specific answers. So then, yeah, it just becomes like, I don't think I can design and plan that mix. I think I just have to play the mix. With that said, There is one thing that I thought would be interesting, and someone said a zip line. I think a zip line is actually a really good idea for this game. The thing is, a zip line would be a red ability, and this is the green chapter, so I'm not sure. There are a few things. Do you know what? Maybe I should just design a bunch of things you can interact with things with. So maybe we just do the zip line and just roll with it. Just trying to like be open-minded here. Isn't it more fascinating to have simple yet universal systems out of which you can create complex emerging behavior? Different kind of game. It's puzzle versus open world, you know? Like Breath of the Wild, systems. Kirby, features. It's just different. So for me, like I am making a game that's like more or less a puzzle game. A lot of the potential that the game has is puzzle game potential. So for me, it's like, what can I design that gives you the space to creatively solve puzzle platforming challenges? I still want to be able to enforce an answer a lot of the time. So yeah, but that's okay. I'm pretty confident about where I'm headed here. I think we got to go back to our ability system and our enemy designs and think about that. We've actually got a bunch of things here. So platforming, we've got interactable level platforming pieces. We've got ledges, climbable walls, these things you can swing on. They already exist in the game. Destructible blocks, shiftable blocks, platforms that move and vault you or launch you. We have one-way platforms. We don't have one-way walls yet. That's one that I haven't really... I'm not sure about that. We also have gates that drop. We don't have sideways wall runs. I really like this idea. I think it's actually better than a zip line. The idea that you can like run along a wall might be cooler. Because it kind of implies that you can jump off it. What's a wall though? I mean, we've got right now, the only walls we have are vertical. Walls that are like this. But this would be like a literal, like a flat platform. Like in Mario Brothers, Super Mario World, you have those chains that you can climb on. Well, this is like that, except you don't climb, you do this. We could also have like climbable walls as well. I kind of also like the idea of having like a wall that you run along that you could run up or down along with a special ability. Yeah, right now, if we're just thinking philosophically about the game, let me kind of introduce you to like the big problem with Insignia. The big problem is at a certain point when you're designing these spaces. Oh gosh, that's very slow. At a certain point when designing these spaces, the spaces become very, it's just about like, you know, where you can be, right? That's the question. Oh my gosh, what is that? 120 FPS, but not when we do that. So like in this case, oh man, hang on. Test progress, combat unlocked. That's what I want. Bro, why are you so slow? 20s. This only happens when I do one thing. Let me see if I can compile it. That's so weird. Okay. Whoa, brother. Is it to do with this? No idea. Anyway. Cool. So, at a certain point, everything becomes about like, oh, hey guys, is the music a little loud for you? That might be a bit better. It looks like it would be a bit loud. Yeah, so at a certain point, it's like, yes, you have these level features, and then you have things that you can interact with via the level features. And that's sort of fine, but eventually, like, having the power to just like shift yourself in space creates a wrinkle. That wrinkle is basically like, what is your, I can explain it to you visually. Okay, here's our player character. If I put the player character on a platform in the middle of the screen, the question is, what is their sphere of where they can reach without additional help? As the player gets abilities, that sphere gets bigger. That circle gets bigger. And at the point when the circle is so big that it reaches the edge of the screen, I can't design levels anymore. It doesn't matter what I do. If you can reach here, or here, or here, or here, if you can stand here and reach all the way to here without any additional outside help from the level design is done. It's just over, because I can't make something that's so hard that you can't do it. Of course, you can force the player to double back and do different things and blah, blah, blah. But like, what you want to do is, because the player's mental space, like a puzzle is pretty much everything you can see in one screen. If I have like a platform that's out of view, I can't make a puzzle out of that. Right? Like, you can't see this, so I can't have you go through the puzzle mentality of solving a problem that you can't see the answer to. What that means is, and if you play a game like Celeste, it's very obvious why the character is so small in that game and why the camera is so zoomed out. Because there is a certain limit to what you can do. So like for us, I have this little room where I test what can the player do with different like levels of ability. So like a main jump, it's not a very big jump, that's fine, okay? If I make the player jump any further than this, you know, we probably are gonna start running into issues. Especially if you add in coyote time, right? Like having him jump after he's left the platform makes that even more achievable. We also have an air stall ability. So like being able to do this and this makes that go even further. If we think about it, you know, that's a third of the screen right there. We also have a scramble. So like being able to scramble and then air stall makes this, because we have the ledge grab, it's even further, right? It's about a third of the screen with no abilities whatsoever. You can make a jump that far. one of the earliest abilities you get in the game is this flame charge. That gives you a lot of extra mobility. In fact, it lets you do stuff that's pretty crazy. We can almost make this jump. And that's getting like 1, 2, 3. Like, we're not gonna make that, but we almost did. If I put a camera there, so camera helps us out a little bit because I can force the camera to look at a specific part of the screen. So I can say, okay, now that I'm standing here, I frame Celeste style, I frame the thing, but like this is now 2/3 of the screen, almost a full screen. There's not much space left for puzzling. If I'm here, and I can grab that, which I almost did. I mean, that's first ability almost solves the whole game's puzzle potential. At least in terms of like what you can comfortably solve in one big gap. Right. Unless you have to do things like navigate around objects or do other things, for sure. So the question then becomes like, do we have to like stunt how far these things go? Should the abilities be like less valuable? I think the hard part here is like, well, actually there's one more thing you can do. I didn't mention it, but the other thing you can do is change the scale. Okay, now we have a puzzle space that's a lot bigger, right? Now we could design a puzzle where the jump was all the way over here. We could start the platform back here just by zooming out, right? So this issue of, hey, I have a really pretty pixel art game where my character is, you know, I want him to be this big on screen, but I want to do Celeste style puzzle platforming that requires the player to be this big on screen. It shifts where the energy is or where the focus is in the game. I'm okay with the game being like this. I'm okay with it going super zoomed out. It's just, you have to be pretty careful about that stuff because we're giving ourselves less headroom to grow into as the game gets bigger. We do zoom out sometimes, yeah, based on the zone. So that's exactly what I just showed you. You know, maybe we could do something. I mean, there are things we can do in the game like this, where if I put an enemy here, now I've made this enemy move, which is not great for me, but you could do things like that. Not that I was preparing to do that, but let me try that again. Nah, if I can have him stop. There we go. Doing damage confirm gives you an extra air attack. So you can, like, if I put an enemy that's stationary in the level in a specific spot, you can get extra air attacks. And I'm sure we've had enemies in the game before. I guess like this guy, we could just put him in here. In fact, that's actually what I want to do. If I just put this in the middle of the level, then you could do stuff like this, right? We don't have that power right now. But if I run up to this guy and go bump, actually, I would need him to be maybe a little bit further over. Maybe like there. And then here, if I go boom, 1, 2, 3, now I can do this. That we could do. So all that is to say, I'm trying to minimize what you can do with that kind of stuff. And empty air as a volume is probably the least interesting space that we want to be able to move through. So what are the other, I think one of the things that we should probably start introducing in the game are other kinds of volumes. Celeste has those galactic volumes where you dash through them and you're stuck on a linear path until you exit out the other side. But I think we could consider like walls like this as a volume, right? It's a kind of 2D space that you can only interact with if you are using a specific ability. I think in a puzzle game, having things that are visually evident that they do a specific thing is very valuable. In terms of like selling the game, teaching the player the game, creating interesting screenshots, all of that is dependent on the player being able to see the screenshot and recognize what's supposed to happen. Unfortunately, as cool as it is, everything I just showed you, this being like a puzzle is not evident. You can't tell if you don't play the game, you can't tell this is a puzzle or like that there is like one solution to this. There's only one way to cross this. That's like use the thing 1, 2, 3, launch, and probably also hold forward the whole time so that you don't screw it up. So like max jump, 1, 2, 3, hold forward, dash, land. That's not really evident that it's a puzzle. So I think that I'm going to start focusing more on things like this so that instead it's kind of more teachable to players. That the thing I just showed you is fine in like an edge case end game scenario. But it's not something that I think I can build the whole game's puzzle system on. So, I think that's what I want to do. Maybe this could also be a really cool ability where we can kick off of an enemy. Like you can wall run, or you can like leap off of an enemy's head or something, and propel yourself forward. I could see that, or just like a Sea Viper style like overhead kick from Street Fighter. Yeah, let's do it. I've spent too much time. I want to show you something that is a mistake that I've done. Okay, I spent a lot of time sitting here planning how I could create puzzle platforming cadences in the game. Like when you walk into this zone, you'll need this ability, but you won't get that until later. When you walk into this zone, you'll need this ability, but you don't get that until later. All of this stuff, it's not worth it. It's not worth thinking about this. Like this is me trying to go, okay, you're going to get this, do this, but you can't do this until you're done. Not worth it. And look, this is me doing a dive kick before Silksong came out. If I put a dive kick in the game, in fact, the dive kick is in the game. There you go. Oh, it's worth it. It's just not worth it until after you've already thought about, and until after you've got the levels to put in the game. Okay. Yeah, he's got a lot of HP. So let's do it. Let's just start making stuff. I feel like that's how games should be made, and I haven't been doing it that way for a long time. So we're gonna do a wall run. We're gonna do. There is a projectile as well that we are planning on putting in the game. Literally, I'm gonna do something now in like, I'm gonna make it in 2 minutes. Not 2 minutes, 2 hours. Okay? Let's just put it on the clock. It's 2 now. That's our clock. We're gonna go Pomodoro. We're gonna clear all tasks. We're gonna make a new one here. We're gonna say prototype ability, no animation. We're gonna do first round animation. If we can do that in an hour and then see how it goes, that'd be actually crazy. But I think it actually would be very easy. And then first round environment design. Okay. You ready, chat? 3, 2, 1, go. Let's design something. So, new level. Let's create a template scene. Copy. Scenes. Test scenes. We'll call this wall run ability test scene. Open it, save it, drag it in here. Now it exists. Shove this out of the way. Okay, here's our test level. Boom. Okay, now let's create an empty. We'll call it wall run volume. Sprite renderer. Square. The thing is, what I'm trying to do right now is coach myself into being confident about the game. I know I can churn this stuff out so quickly, but I make myself anxious and I count myself out because I spend a lot of time thinking and preparing myself for like possible futures. But actually, I don't need to do that. I can just smash out a game very, very quickly. And it's not an issue. I know I can do this. So it's just like, I need to trial by fire myself a little bit here and stop worrying about how I'm going to do things. Hey, software artificer. So check this out. Here is our level. And what the heck? Hello? I can't click on things on the screen. Hello? Hello? Unity? I can't select objects. Okay, that's better. All right. This should be on a layer that we're going to call can't add a layer for this, but I can tag it with a new tag called run wall. Let's call it that. So this is going to be a run wall, and it's going to be a trigger box. And then we're going to create a new ability behavior for Armin. Ensign ability behaviors. This is going to be a red one, and it's going to be called create empty. What is this? What, when you, is there like a parkour term for this? Doesn't matter. We'll call it wall run for now. Okay. Straight into it. Let's go. Don't need you. Wall run. It's an ability behavior. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. Ability behavior. Ability be. Okay, what is bounce called? Bounce ability is ability state. Okay. Ability state. And it's an air state and it is a mobile state. There we go. Okay. I don't think we want to implement start. Do I have a should enter? No. I just have enter, do, and fix do. Okay. Public override void enter. Do exit. We'll have a fixed do as well. Okay. So let's think about what we want to actually do here. The strategy is going to be something like two versions. So one is if we're on a wall, we run along it until we fall off. Let's think about it. We can actually sketch this out really quickly. Okay, so if we are overlapping this box, we can start running. And I think it's okay to have this just be indefinite. I think it would be really cool if this was something we could control ourselves on a little bit too. Maybe there's like maybe there is just like a slight vertical control that you have while you're doing it. Not a whole lot, but enough to like make it so that I could branch this so that there's something cool up here or something cool down here. The ledge might be there, it might be there. I might put a wall here that you can like run into and it'll make you fall. So I think a little bit of play would be good. That keeps it interesting. I think that if we leave the wall, we probably should go into like a falling state. I think we could also press it one more time to go into like a kick. I think right now our wall climb, our ascend ability, or scale I think it's called, runs up the wall and then does a backflip at the end. And if you aren't on a wall, it just does the backflip. I like that. I think canceling out of the state with either the jump button or the attack button is the right way to make this flexible. So, and then if you're not on a wall, you just auto cancel out of it. So what we're going to need is like an attack state. So we're going to need a running until we fall off, cancelable with an input. The inputs are if we jump, then just jump off. If we attack, then do a cool flip. If there is no wall, do the flip anyway. And then that's it. If we fall off a wall, just fall out of it naturally. Okay, so first question is, we need a boolean here that says if we're on a wall. Public bool is on run wall equals false. Actually, this should probably be a check. We need to do an overlap physics check for all colliders in our collision mask. If it was physics based, this would be really easy, like physics layer, because you just do a mask that has only that layer on it. The tagging is a bit harder. We could find all of the objects in the level that have the tag on it and just check if any of them overlap with us. That's also relatively easy. We could have them add themselves to a singleton, or we could, because they're not going to change much in the level, we could just find them at the start of the level and just track them. But I think probably the best thing we could do is just have this be on its own special layer. It's just you only have 32 of those because it's a bit mask. So then, what's the answer here? Is there a find objects with tag? Okay, there is one. Cool. So the tag is run wall like that. And then we could just have a list. Of Collider 2D called run walls. And then on start. Now, is there already a start? Okay. What are we overriding here? Ability state. Animated a box manager effect curve event. Add listener process effect curve event. Okay. We could just do base. Based. Why is this not happy? Public. Okay, why can't we do that? Sure. How are your suggestions so helpful? because my code base is massive and already has most of this code. Okay. So that's fine. We need to say run walls. So this is what is this? This is game object dot find game objects. This is an array. So for each game object G in this is not super efficient, but it's fine if you only do it once at the start of the level. And as long as you're not spawning new walls in the level, this will never be wrong. So it happens once. It's not that expensive of a check in the grand scheme of things. It might add like 0.02 seconds to the load time of a level, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so do that, and then for each collider in one walls, if overlap point, return true, otherwise return false. Perfect, that's it. Cool. How are we doing on our Pomodoro? 10 minutes. Not bad, not bad, not bad. So, can enter. If we are on a run wall, and no, we could be grounded when we do this. I think we could just check if we're on the run wall. Okay, so when we enter, we say, I would like to have a set wall happen at some point. Now, this and this should happen almost instantly. If this ever fails, we got a problem. But let's just try this. So, void set wall. I mean, you would want to return, the C that we were talking about, basically. Now, this does mean that we get stuck on a specific collider. Like there's only one collider that can be the wall. Maybe we want to change that a bit later. So for each in run walls, if overlap point, let's go like public collider 2D current wall. Just like that. Okay. Perfect. So we set the wall when we enter. And then if we are not on the wall ever, then we set to complete. We're done. Otherwise, body.velocity equals we should do like a start facing as well. Yep, and we should have a speed here as well. Let's start it with 5. That's fine. That's fine. So as long as we're still good, keep going. That's actually going to get us most of the way there, just like that. We could probably also just turn gravity off as we enter. We don't need an update here. That's fine. Body dot set dot gravity scale equals 0. And then when we exit, that's when we reset body props to turn gravity back on. Put this at the bottom because it makes sense. Maybe actually before these checks. Cool. Okay. I mean, that is a pretty good prototype right there. That's going to start us off. If we're in a wall, if we could do a quick exit here, current wall equals null. We could say complete, and I mean, return is redundant there, but we can just complete automatically. And if we're not on a wall because we fell off it, then we're done. So we actually didn't even need that current wall check, but I think we're going to want it later, I feel like. Okay, so wall run, new ability, done. Now we're not quite finished yet. We have how much time yet? 6 minutes. Plenty of time. Plenty of time. So this needs an ability scriptable. Let's go. We've got arc ability. That's blue. We need a red ability called, we've got dash, force, slide, create, folder, and we're going to call this one wall ride ability data. Let's take the dash ability and basically just like we're going to copy these three and we're going to paste them inside of this and just change the names. I don't feel comfortable doing it that way. But I do need a design. Wall ride. Wall ride is a much better name for it. Wall ride design. And we need a quest flag. Wall ride unlocked. So, wall ride. Crappy names, but that is what it is. Okay, these are already pretty close to what we need. This is going to go here. This is going to go here. This, it's fine. Now, I think that the dash ability, which is really called charge. What have we got here? It is a process that we don't use anymore. It doesn't do that. It just gives us this flag. Okay. And it's an upgrade. So, wall ride ability. It's a design that gives us wall ride unlocked, and it is an upgrade. Cool. Hey, Krautesh, thank you so much for the sub. Awesome. So now this ability is what goes into this here. We're going to call this wall ride. And before we go too far, I'm actually going to rename this to wall ride. Just because I know that ride is better than run in this context. I just feel like it's closer to what we want. I'm probably going to name it something different in the game, but just to prototype, that's a fine start. Okay. Cool. So finally, here in our ability behaviors, we need to be able to pass it in. So we have a wall ride ability, and then we have a wall ride there. So as long as that matches up, it's a bit awkward that we've done it this way, but as long as all scriptables and all states match up, then it'll work just fine. I'll refactor that one day. So now I just need to put an enemy in the level that has that ability on it. I also need to update this here, it needs to be combat unlocked, and combat unlocked needs to also, if we go to the library and go data library, update data dictionary GUIDs, that'll add this to the game. So now we can just make a new enemy. Like this one. And we can go to this gem, and then we can say the enemy has a behavior on it. Where is this thing? There's the gem. The gem has the wall run ability, wall ride. That's fine. And then this engine needs to have it be that we have combat unlocked, and combat unlocked needs to have wall ride unlocked. So now we have access to the ability. We just got it. And then boom, it worked. Done. Time. With 30 seconds to spare. Speed run. That was pretty good. That was pretty good, chat. You got to give it to me. I just put a new ability in the game. You can't do it, see? Get the ability. Boing. Now we have wall ride. There's the timer. What a split. That was sick, chat. That was so cool. I impressed myself. That was actually insane that I pulled that out in 25 minutes. To me, that was insane. That's an actual ability in the actual game that I just added. Okay, adds whip wall ride ability. Commit that. Okay, a few other things that we want to be able to do. I'm going to take let's do like a tiny, we'll call it a break, but it's not really a break. We're going to add some parameters to this before we go into the next set of things. Okay, so now we've got 5 minutes of tuning. So this 5 minutes is going to be, we go back to Armin, we go back to wall ride. And we're going to add a few parameters here. So we actually already made the speed parameterizable. Let's make it 3 instead of 5. That's a good start. I think that's pretty reasonable. We could even like have the time like step up as we do it, like ramp up. What do you think? Should it like start slow and then increase? I almost think it should be like slow. I know the game, like there's a sense of momentum that you want to have in a game like this. So I'm conscious of that. If I made it like 2, what does that give us? I just literally forgot what I'm doing. Yeah, that feels a little too slow. So I think maybe we call this like a max speed. And then I would be happy to just do like an animation curve to ramp up to the speed. So let's go up to, we'll start at like, up to 3.5. starting at 1. Yeah, but I think like the slowing down, because it's an ability, all of these abilities are like magic propelled. So it's not his legs that are slowing him down. It's more like, you know, like he's powering up. I want it to feel powerful when you do these things. It's not just his regular abilities. So what we need is like I'm just going to do like public animation curve called curve. And then I'm going to have a public simple animation, which is my crappy version of a do tween. Anim. And then when we enter, we're going to say anim equals new simple animation, which just goes from 0 to 1 over 0.5 over ramp time. Let's make this configurable. Ramp time is 0.3 seconds, sure. And we're going to use the curve. And we're going to go, its fixed time is, I guess, true. Whoops. False. No steps. Cool. So we're going to go anim.play. And then this velocity, this speed is instead it's float SPD equals get value equals, actually no, helpers dot map from anim dot get value is going to go, I think it's just anim dot value, from 0 to 1. We're going to go from min speed to, let's rename this max speed. Max speed is 5. Min speed is 2. Actually, this was 3.5 F. And then this becomes SPD, spinning pile driver. Okay, so if we're not complete, map that to that, do that. Okay. Also, I don't think this needs to happen here. I think we can set this inside of the normal do, because we're setting velocity. So I would do this inside of the normal do. Anim value, We also want to say anim dot update. See how that goes. Okay, where's my animation curve? It's public. It should be there. This happens to me it's been happening pretty recently, where you need to like click off and click back on to something for it to work. So this is going to go boop, 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 like that. Maybe it doesn't have to be quite so sharp. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's go. That is speeding up, but I think the start speed's pretty slow. Yeah. I also think that the exit speed should be half of that. Hey, Castatatus. I think there should be like a significant drop off in speed once you get off the wall. Just like a hard cap. Sweet. That's no good. Great. Okay. Now, is this a ledge? I don't think it is a ledge. So there's no, if this was a ledge, we would need to do like a stumble onto it. Let's also do like, for now, I think all we want to do is set our velocity on the y-axis to be up or down a little bit based on what we want to do here. So like, input dot what do I call this thing? Y-val. I mean, we could literally just say, just do that for now. Am I going to draw the wall right on him? Yep, I'm going to do it right now. Right after this. Yeah, cool. Don't know why sometimes that doesn't do what I want it to do. Might just be me being imprecise. Sweet. Okay. Let's make this like this big and then put this like up here. Can we design, does the design work for what I just intended it to do? Yeah, it does. I think we could be a little slower on the max speed. Just 3. Could even bring the bass a little slower. That's great. So good. Yo-Yo Bob, Easter egg. What are we getting? What color? Pink for the pink wall. Let's have a look. Next Pomodoro coming right up. Yellow. Bow. Sorry. Okay. You ready? 3, 2, 1, go. kind of Easter egg? Up to you. It can be a character that we put in the game, or a sprite we just hide somewhere in the background, or the name of something. Okay. So we are going to use Ace Brush here because we like to do that. And we're going to have, I think I have something like this already. Armin, sword, run. I see it as this. Okay, done. I see it as this, but we're just going to have to shape it a little bit differently. So I don't think we need all this space. It's really just this, but his head is closer to us and his feet are on a wall. Right? So like if I just do this, character, Armin, abilities, new folder, wall run. Wall ride. Okay. Okay, there it is. There's our animation. Go to retro box. It's 128 by 128. It's exactly half like that. We're going to drop this guy in here. Close that. I think I screwed that up. Okay, I don't think that did anything wrong there. Cool. Wall run. Close you. That's it. That's that. Make sure this is multiple. Yep, all good. Go. That gives us the animation. All done. Now, we want to go to this, 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 and we want to be able to set an animation here. So we've only really covered one case so far. We haven't really got states or anything inside of this. So right now we could just say public retro.sheet sride like you suggested. And then if we are on a wall, this shouldn't be complete. This should be like kick away, not complete. And let's do the not null case and then else. So this, that, and then this should go here. This, all of this, especially this, should go here. And then animated at play, sride 15, true, false, that's looping. Yes, override, no. Perfect. So, where is our animation? There's our wall, run, done. Pop it in the game, give it a go, bum, bum, bum. Sweet. So, now we get to actually draw the thing that we want to see happen. We know it's going to be in the game very easily. We know it's mapped correctly. So let's go ahead and do that, shall we? I'm going to draw a new one here. I'm going to put this there, maybe like, I don't know, up here somewhere. I typically like to see if it put it on the left, but okay. So arm is going to be up like this. Sword hand is going to be, I guess we should have the chest quite open. Darken this. Arm back. Yeah. Shoulder dropped. Maybe this arm is more like that. Really, really important when you're doing a game like this to compress the shapes. Because you want that character to be as much of a square as possible. That'll give you the chance to basically have the collisions match what's visually happening on screen. Otherwise, you get a lot of awkward collision information relative to what the sprite is doing. Did I study for the game dev or am I self-taught? A lot of it is self-taught. But I studied a lot too. I didn't study game dev, no. Game dev, self-taught. Programming, animation, I did a little bit of school for that. I don't think that's going to work. I think we need to draw something custom. I also think that it should... No, you kind of want it like that. Hey, Krila Tregubov. Where did I study? I studied at the University of Sydney. I did a degree in design computing, which is now called, I think it's called experience design or interaction design. Do I have a model sheet? When you say just wing it, I mean, I do. You can see the reference on my screen, so I'm not just winging it. I've also drawn Armin like literally thousands of times at this point, so the character sheet's kind of in my head. Well, pixel art's pretty low stakes in that area because, like, if you aren't seeing this character from this angle. Like if you've never seen the character from this angle before, then there's no really like right or wrong answer. I do have like references. Like right now, I know that this is very similar to the down slash. So I'll say like down air. and then I'll go and find the animation that I'm looking for. Not this one. Arm and directional air attacks. Okay, so I'm looking at Okay, not quite what I'm looking for, but maybe this this frame here is pretty much what I want. So I'll just take that head and I'll put it here, and then I'll flip it. That's pretty much the angle I'm looking for here. Done. But in this case, we want to look forward. That's what I do. It hasn't always been that easy. A lot of the time in the past, I've had to really think about it. But these days, it's been long enough. There's also just a lot of like rule of cool with this kind of thing. Like it's not actually advantageous for things to be perfect. You kind of just have to go for what looks good in the moment. Consistency is more important in fidelity, like areas where you've got more fidelity to play with. All right, let's see if that's decent. So chest right at the 50% mark. Good. Export it. Pretty good. I could see it. Right? Angle-wise, his front arm might not be perfect. I think it might actually need to be like more behind him. Sorry, his back arm. Like he's holding onto the wall as it's running past him. That might help sell the momentum a little bit better. But also like it's a very wide it's a very wide wingspan he's trying to create here, so maybe it should sort of go a little bit more forwards at the end just to convey that his elbow is not dislocated. I also think maybe this could come up a little bit, maybe even here too. Sweet. Okay. Let's try that again. Yeah, it probably doesn't need to be so high either. What do you think? Okay, one more thing. You liked the armor head? Yeah, I'm just not... We'll see. We'll see. Where did we get key from? Oh, okay. Everyone has one. Great. Okay, check this out. A second part of the animation where he's striding. Oh, this isn't the animation yet. This is just whatever. This is just a single frame so far. Okay. All right. Effect offset minus 0.2, minus 0.3. That's probably too much. 0.2. I probably could just do a, you know what? This is a dumb idea. Let's create an empty thing here and call it effect anchor. It's going to flip with us anyway. So we just say that instead. We would just say the effect anchor is like here. Oh, I was pretty close. That's pretty much where I would have wanted to put it anyway. Effect anchor right there. Save it. Go. Bump, 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 bump. Yeah, cool. Now it looks like it's coming from the sword. Sweet. Pomodoro. 5 minutes. Okay. So now, let's do... That's not a lot of time for a run, but let's just see what we can get away with. That's what we're trying to do here. I'm going to separate the head out. Cut, new layer, paste. Eight frames, I guess. Step, 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 step. Like that, maybe. This should probably be a little bit more further forward earlier. Right up to here. Start coming back down. Engage with the wall. Maybe even lower on this frame. Also, these all should be a little bit more pointed down this way. Sweet. Okay, let's try it. Okay, now since we added more frames, we need to go back to the run. Go to our retro box for this guy. And I think we need to delete this almond wall ride. Because now we're going to do the same thing, dragging it here, and then whoop, that gives us all of this. Toot, 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 toot. Perfect. Now this is going to have a missing animation. It's just faster to replace it at this point. Wait, it just, okay, it pointed to the correct one. Amazing. Thank you, Unity. Effect IDs or item IDs. Huh. Why did that not work? Wait, did it fail? Why is this wrong? I think something to do with the fact that we just replaced an animation. It's a bit confused about where the reference is. Behaviors, ensign, red, wall ride, missing. Yeah, see, it's missing here, but it's not missing here. So let's just repoint it. I probably shouldn't have done that. I should have just replaced it normally. Still missing. Let's just apply this. There we go. Cool. Bum, bum, bum. Nice. We can make it go a little faster. We could even, nah. I was going to say, we could even make the speed be dependent on how fast we're moving. What do you think? Maybe a little too fast. Let's make this wall less pink so that we can actually see it properly. I think I might agree with you that the hand forward might have been better. whoever it was that suggested that. Yeah, sweet. The sword flame is a series of sprite animations as a particle system. I might just hand animate this one. Sweet. Okay, other leg now. Sweet. Bro. The arm probably needs to be more solid. So what I might do is instead keep this in the same spot because it's the anchor point. And then I'll go like that, because he's walking on the wall. He's holding the wall. So the hand can't really move. Maybe like it could shift forward and back in the stride. Yeah, that's better. Dude, the like Prince of Persia-ness of what's happening right now is making me very happy. Hey, how's it going? Better now. Very nice. That's better. That's so friggin' cool, man. Oh, I enjoy this. I enjoy it. I have a good time when I'm doing it. It's fun. I hope you're having fun watching. I hope you're having half as much time. Let's reset that. I hope you're having half as much fun watching me do this as I am doing it. Because this is so much fun. I almost don't even want to go to this event tonight because of how much fun I'm having right now. Check it. Let's watch this. Ba, ba, ba. Doof, 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 doof. I mean, that is sick, man. I just made that. It's so cool, dude. Oh, this game's gonna be sick. We literally had this idea, coded this idea, and are animating this idea in the span of what? Has it been an hour and a half? Like, what is this? What are these gains? Not looking perfect, but I just want to see it in the level. See ya. I don't know, dude. I don't know how. Practice. All right, let's now sharpen it up a little bit because it's not looking great yet. It's looking a little funky. You got to get the proportions right. It's tough because, you know, the wall is away from us. The wall is away from us, so there's a bit of Z depth and foreshortening. Like what this foot is connecting to the wall through the camera. So like maybe this should be more like this. And you know what's great about this? I can just give this to Morgan P and she'll fix it. Like, this is so workable. She shouldn't have much trouble at all working this up to like polish. And that means that I do all the fun animating and my team does all the boring animating. We're eating good, chat. I'm so happy with that. That is just like, that is what 8 years of dev gets you, chat. Just work on your game for 8 years and you two can do a run animation up a wall in an hour and a half. Whoa. Okay. Now, here's where it gets crazy. We play test. You all have 1 HP. You give me... That's wall ride. You give me charge. And you give me a rise. Not, it's too high. Okay, too high. Whoop. Oh, we did it. Oh, not quite. This is Unity. Okay. 3, 2, 1, boom. 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 Sweet. I'm not letting you switch directions mid-wall. If you press back, nothing happens. I focused the camera on the screen too hard. Let's get rid of this. See ya. Let's put you over here. Okay, now we have a game. Boom. 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 Run. Oh, there's a level edge there. Hang on. Scrolling bound. Right edge goes all the way to here. Okay, try again. 3, 2, 1. And then charge. And then run. Let's go. Run over here. Run. Jump up there. Run. Sweet. So good. I feel like, do we add a little jump on the end? I feel like there needs to be like a moment at the end where you press a button and it does a little extra something. And if you press it early, you get the thing. Like almost like, because you're watching it happen and there's no like final beat. Can I interrupt it? I think I can. I think I can interrupt it with an attack. Yeah, well, we didn't do the attack. That's what I wanted to do. I actually have a sweet attack for this that I haven't used yet. That's so cool. Wait, can I go back and forth with those two? If I charge here, can I go back across the wall? Nah. Can I go from the wall? No. Can I go across the wall? Can do that. All right, so air slash. Not this one. Not this one. It might be this one. This little guy. Conflagrate. I love this attack. It's a little spinny. We're going to chuck that in there. It's the Marthnair. That's right. You could see that. You could see that just on that. That's insane. I actually don't know if I used Marth as a reference, but that's a really great pickup. I might have been like thinking about it or something like that. All right, so we need a public action air attack, basic air attack called attack. This is where it gets a bit complicated because what this technically needs to be now is two states. It needs to be the wrapper state and then the wall ride and the attack as separate things. So it's not hard to do that. It's just a little bit wonky, but it will help manage what's happening between the two better because like we don't want to do the running while we're doing the attacking. So what I'll do is say public class ride state is a character state, I think is how I call it. And then I just take pretty much everything that's in here right now. This is public. This just needs a public wall ride. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. This reset. What is it? It's this stuff. Yeah, okay. So let's just do it manually here. We could... No, let's do it here. A bit awkward. That we have to constantly refer to ride, but it's not a big deal. I mean, we could move the start facing into here. That's not a big deal at all. But for now, let's just get through this. So when we go ride.enter, let's have a think. If it's not null, then we're going to do all of this. So it's really going to be set ride. We need a ride state in here, so public ride state ride. And then we're just going to say set ride, otherwise set attack. There we go. Then when we set ride, we're entering here. This anim just do that. No, we can't do that. But we can do that. Whatever. It's bad practice. This is ugly as all hell, but it's just less work to do it this way. So, that's fine. Fine. Do that or do that. Great. When we're doing this, we aren't doing this anymore. We're actually just going to say state.do. We say if state.complete. If state is not complete, state.do. Else, if state equals ride, attack, otherwise complete. Perfect. Love it. Also, if we are not on a wall, that's the ride's job though, if we're not on wall complete, and we're already doing that. Perfect. This anim.update and this scriptable process effect is happening here. Perfect. So we don't need that anymore. Now this is just a shell state for the to attack and the animation that we've got. If we can enter, let's run the wall, set the wall, exit. Perfect. This here, this should happen on the exit for this. Okay, that will all work now. Except we need to instantiate this. Yeah. Okay. So now the idea is to nest our attack animation. So we're going to have inside of wall ride, we're going to have one more empty game object, and we're going to call this slash. This is going to have an air attack basic air attack state. And it's conflagrate. Air entry? Is that what this is? What are we looking at here? Conflagrate air exit. Okay, whatever. Probably shouldn't call it that, but anyway. And as long as that's plugged into this, done. Now we have our animation states contained, so this should work. I mean, whoops. Okay, null pointer exception's probably somewhere. Stack Overflow. Okay, if state is not null and state is not complete, what the heck? Oh, it's recursive. We don't need this. He tried. Okay, simpler example. And if state is not complete, state.do, else if state is ride state and state is complete, set attack to true, otherwise complete. That seems really fine to me. I don't see what issue that could create. Maybe we didn't set a frame rate on the air attack. That's probably what we did. I just dropped it in, didn't I? Slash, okay, FPS 12. Perfect. Sweet. That's great. I'm very happy with where this is going. I feel like the attack probably needs to be a bit more tailored to what we're actually doing, which is, you know, to be expected. Yeah, cool. Probably also needs a little bit more, the return, the gravity, the reset body props. Right now, that's inside of the exit for the, for the big state. So maybe we should have this also reset gravity scale to 0. We're resetting that here. No, that's just halving the x-axis. We could set this to 0 on exit. But nonetheless, I feel like the air attack probably resets gravity on entry. Yeah. Also, maybe it shouldn't do it unless we press the button. I feel like auto pressing the buttons a little too, it's giving us too much for free. Hey chat, I bought a new fan today for my CPU. So much better. It's been really annoying recently. There we go. Why can't that? So first question, what's going on here that makes this stay on? This being on. This process effect curve event. It shouldn't be there. I don't think it was overheating. I think it was just noisy. It was really, really noisy. I think the fan was like just off center and it was starting to get noisier and noisier. So I just replaced it completely. It's whisper quiet now. But it's also, do you guys notice how fast the game is recompiling today? I wonder if it was actually not getting as much cooling as it wanted. Fan meets neighbor's dog. Okay, so why is this still red? That's my question. Hey Void Plane, thank you so much for gifting that sub. Hey Crimson Fox. Hey Steven. Stefan? Steven? I can't remember, when did I chat to you? Which day was it? And names and faces. Hard to match. Nonetheless, it was great to meet you. Where did I meet? Did I meet you on like Monday or Tuesday? In the animation? Steven. Monday. Yeah. I was the EA Fire Monkeys art guy. I know you. I remember you. We had a chat for a while next to the Exola booth. I did attend Parallels, but I did not attend for very long. Yeah, I was kind of like in and out because I was so tired from Play Now. It was like, I couldn't even keep my eyes open. So we pieced out. I hadn't eaten dinner, hadn't like showered or anything, and I'd just done nine publisher pitches back to back before Parallels. So when we got in there and sat down and the lights were all low, I was like, I think I'm falling asleep. I don't think I can listen to these talks right now. Okay, so Armin, what's going on, buddy? You've got your color here. There is a shader script on you. The material. Yeah, it was a big day. Like, it's a lot. Dimensions, pivot, visible, effects. None of this is what I'm thinking of. Sure, dude. Yeah, unfortunately, I barely use LinkedIn. I should use it more. It's just not really on my radar most of the time. Is it the combat shader script? Well, actually, let's have a look at Special Ability Manager. I actually don't know when this gets set. Let's go check his shader and see where it's at. So globby outline color. So this must have to get set to like nothing. That's map node. That's not what we want. Wait a second. Why doesn't this exist anywhere in the game? Huh? Color property. Wait, I don't understand. How am I doing this? This has a property called _outline. That's why. Ability scriptable. Process effect curve event if we're not on Armin who hasn't unlocked the ability. Hey, Oxido. Yeah, so where is the color.clear? Here. And here, ability state, exit. Oh, I gotta do base.exit. That's why. I shouldn't really have to do that. Okay. There you go. Strangely, he's sliding downwards a little bit. It's kind of okay. But it does weird me out. Gravity scale is 0. Y val is here. Let's log the Y and see what that ends up as. It is a wall run. But he shouldn't have any gravity at the moment because I just set gravity scale to 0. Yeah. Let's actually double check that gravity scale. Uh-huh, it is there. So maybe because we haven't set body to anything here, but it should. When we enter this, it should do that. I mean, we can... it's not great that entering and then doing something happens between here and here that takes that away. See you, Crimson Fox. Yeah, I mean, it must be. That's definitely the case. But I'm just trying to think, like, if there's a problem between here and here that's setting gravity scale. That's not very good for us. If we take this and we put it here, I wonder if that makes a big difference. Let's have a look. Let's have a think. No, no good. And now let's see what happens if I put it in the update. I mean, that should be like, there's no way that would be an issue. Whoa, even now, still an issue. Now that's crazy. They're both 0, but nonetheless, this is considered 1. I think I know what it is, actually. It's that this is not considered an air state. Done. That'll fix it. It's actually, I know what it is. It's the base, like, the body controller, the thing that determines whether Armin is on the ground or not, checks the current state for that tag. So because I didn't inherit from that interface, it was just gonna reset it every frame. Fixed. Sweet. Yeah. All I did was, because remember we had, at the top, we just had one state, which was wall ride, and I put these things at the top, air state, mobile state. And then when I made the child a new one, I didn't add the tags again. So it's saying, hey, what's the current state that we're in? Is that an air state? No. Therefore, we should be resetting gravity every frame if it's not already reset. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm wondering if I should give you a little bit more vertical control. Just call it. Just hard code it. It's fine. Sweet. Is this game approved by AVGN, the Angry Video Game Nerd? You'll have to ask him. You can run off the zone, for sure. By design. I'll show you something in a second. what do we call this? There's like a sprite shape. There it is. Sprite shape. I mean, I'm not going to use the sprite shapes. I'm just demoing it for now. It is pixel art. It's just rotated. This might not let us walk on it. Not yet. I walked into an invisible door. And also, I didn't make it a collider. Okay. No, let's try again. Look at that, gameplay! Sweet. No! That's fun. And I could do forks. Like we could have multiple different directions you could go. Yeah, I mean, we're squarely in like Metroidvania puzzle platformer territory. That's 100% the intention. Originally, it was more like Souls-like, but it's changed a lot in the last little while. The last couple of years. Oh, dude, that's so cool. And because you're locked in one direction, you have to end off the wall to turn back around. Hang on, I can do this. Boing. No, I mean boing. There we go. And then we can go do 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 do. No. Cool. I mean, that's great. It's like it's like fine. I mean, I don't know if I would use the sprite shape actually, but if I want this kind of control, yeah, for sure. I was thinking of making it more, I don't know, more geometric, you know, just the general whatever. But this feels like I have so much control that like I might just go for something like this. If I make all of these points, there's the same kind of point, like a snappy point, instead of one that's got the, you know what I'm trying to say here. Is it enabled tangents? No. It's this corner. No. This, that's what I want. If I do that for all of the sprites, I wonder if it'll do what we want. There we go. Yeah, like maybe we go for something that's more like this, just for the sake of keeping it more like whatever. We didn't have to. It kind of looked better before. I think the rule will be something like you always have the wall start on safe ground, like above safe ground, so that less skilled players can just start it safely. Having everything be something that you have to jump into it is, I think, a mistake. No, you can't turn around. If I'm holding back right now, it doesn't let me do it. Oh, that looked cool though. The camera's looking up at the ground surfaces above us as we move. Sweet. Well, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I think like there's not that much that I want to change about this. Even right now, I feel like we could just start designing content with this in mind. There's an idea here that's pretty sweet. I'll show you this. Where you reset by breaking it up. Yeah, we'll do another ability. We'll do another one. Not right now, because I've got to go. Oh, that is tough. Oh, why does that not work? I don't let you attack after you use an ability? That doesn't seem right. No. I'll work on that. First you make a short. Well, I feel like I could have... I feel like if I stitch together things that I said today, that will make a short. I don't know what else. What would I do? What would I say in a short if I was doing it in a one-shot short? Maybe I'll try a one-shot right now. It's just that like the cool thing that happened today was I did this in like an hour. So how could I what would the short do storytelling wise that would compare with me doing a quick edit? Yeah, but what is the short? Like, hey guys, I did this in 1 hour, and then show you the thing. I feel like you want to see me going like A, B, C, D. If I cut it together and do like a voiceover, that might be better than me trying to just one shot the result. Yeah. It's bragging is not as good as like taking the person on the journey. Yeah. This will make for really good content, for sure. Dude, I'm not a big fan of Inbound Shovels content, if I'm being honest. It needs to be... Yeah, he does. It's good content in the way that it is, but I don't like the format very much. Yeah, the short needs to have the pure joy that you had when playing with the feature you just made. Right. But I authentically expressed the joy about an hour and a half ago. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we could do a take. Like we could just... Do people do that? Do we just act? Something like this? Say some organic things in chat so it doesn't look like we've been talking about making a short. All right, chat. All right. New wall run. Mark 1, test 1, let's go. We jump up here, we charge through that, we grab the wall run. Is it gonna work? Hey, look. Oh my gosh. All in an afternoon. Okay, well. That was pretty good. Like that? Is that what you wanted? Pretty good. We could do one more. Do you want one more? Let's do one more. Okay, ready? This is how we're gonna do it. Okay, we're zooming in. We do this. Okay, ready? 3. Watch this. 3, 2, 1, and action. All right. Okay, it looks good. Looks good to me. Let's test it in the game. Wall run. Mark 1. Test 1. Hey! What? No, that was terrible. I feel bad. I feel embarrassed that I reacted so aggressively. Let's try again. One more. Okay. We'll just do that. We want to make more pals. This is how we get more of you in the chat, okay? One more. All right. We're almost done. We just have to finish this. Perfect. Looking good. Let's test it out in the game. Wall ride, Mark 1, test 1. What? First try. Thank you very much. That's my Pomodoro. 25 minutes on the dot. Let's go. All right, how's that? I just feel like we're lying at this point, but we'll just do that. I feel like you got to see the journey that we went on, you know? You got to see the animation. All right. That's it, chat. I got to go. I have an event to go to. I'll post that literally right now. Right after the stream. Please go wishlist Insignia. I got to say that at the end of the thing. I got to say wishlist Insignia on Steam. If you're a real one. Next time. Let's raid Jitspo. Thank you. This was a great stream. We did so well. We added a new ability from scratch. Genuinely, we added for real a new ability in like an hour and 20 in the game. Like that went from, you guys watched this just happen. Isn't that crazy that we just did that? Nuts. All right. See you tomorrow, chat. Not tomorrow because it was Wednesday. We don't stream Wednesdays, but maybe if you're lucky, we'll see. All right, pals. This is your director, friendly neighborhood game dev, Adam C. Yunus, signing off. That's the stream. I had a lot of fun. Hope you did too. If you like the content, go wishlist Insignia on Steam. Go ahead also, and you can become a subscriber of the stream on YouTube. You're already here on Twitch, so you don't need to do that. But definitely sub to the content on YouTube. That's it. That's the stream. As always, I've been Adam. You've been the Pixel Pals. This has been the Indie Tales Game Dev live stream. Until next time.